Okay, good morning everyone. My name is Leslie Turnbull and today I will be explaining to you the world of bizarre medieval torture devices. Now before we begin, I think it should be said that throughout the course of human history there have been hundreds if not thousands of torture devices that have been used against real human beings. So as we talk about the devices that I have implemented into my presentation, I think it would be the best for all of us to keep in mind that real people have actually suffered from this, and it's just good to keep an open mind to that. So let's continue. I have chosen 6 different torture devices to include into my presentation, and I have divided them all into 3 subcategories, if you can call it that. So the subcategories are as follows. We have the mediocre, we have the inhumane, and then everyone's favorite so far, we have butt stuff, because you know what, why torture without butt stuff? Who knows? But anyway, in the mediocre category, we will be talking about the heretic's fork and the collar. Not too bad, not too shabby. It won't inflict pain right away, which is why they are ranked in there. Then in the inhumane category, which is pretty bad. We have 2 of the most infamous, actually. We have the brazen bull and the rat method. Then after that, butt stuff, we have the Judas cradle and the pear of anguish, also known as the medieval butt plug. So let us continue. Alright, the history of medieval torture. What was the one device that inspired all others to come after it? Well, the answer for you, ladies and gentlemen, is the rack. Now, according to Dan Turner, the creator of the YouTube channel Simple History, which gained over 1 million subscribers as of 2018, the rack actually was originated in 356 BC when it was used against this man named Herostratus. Sorry, it's a little hard to pronounce. But Herostratus confessed to the burning of the Temple of Artemis, and therefore he was tortured using this rack, where all of her limbs are placed on these ropes, and then the ropes are not, like separated apart. They tear your limbs off. It's pretty bad, But this specific device actually has been estimated to kill hundreds, if not thousands, of people. And thinking about all the devices that came after that, millions. But we can't be exact, so we should move on now. So now we have the mediocre category. We have the heretic's fork and the collar, as you remember from the subcategory slide. The heretic's fork was invented in 1478 and used mainly against heretics, given its name. And researchers still have been debating about this, but it has been, debated on whether it has tortured 3,000 people to 30,000 people, which is still quite a lot, but this was used mainly during the Spanish Inquisition. And you will notice that a lot of these have been used during the Spanish Inquisition, which I think is actually kind of fascinating to think about. Like, why does this one time period have such a big effect on these devices? So moving on, we have the collar. Now, according to Michelle Debskak, the senior staff writer of Mental Floss, the collar actually the collar actually tortured an estimated couple of thousand people, but it is unknown as to the exact amount of people during the Middle Ages. Now, with both of these devices being placed around a person's neck, you are unable to eat, swallow, and rest and do your day-to-day activities without it getting in the way. Let us continue. Now we have the inhumane category. Now, as I mentioned, the brazen bull and the rat method are 2 of the most infamous torture devices known to man. You've probably heard one of these, like, somewhere in your life. But the brazen bull was invented in 6th century BCE, and according to Joe Harker, a graduate of the University of Stanford with a degree in journaling, the brazen bull's inventor, Perillus of Athens, was the first person to die by his own device. I thought it was pretty interesting that the first person to actually create this died from it. But how it works is a person is bound up within the bull, a fire is lit up beneath them, and whenever they emit a scream, this little chamber right there, their scream gets turned like into the sound of a bull. So we have the rat method, which was invented in 17th century Europe by Diedrich Sonne, and he used this to extract information from prisoners during the Dutch Revolt. It is mainly used in the stomach area, as you will see in the video that I have after this slide, but it can also be used on the head. So let me open this up, and there's no sound. I don't know what's happening right now, but
where is the Brotherhood?
I don't know, please.
Where is the Brotherhood?
I don't know.
it's acting like this. Yeah, that's better. Alright.
Which of the villagers aided them?
I don't know.
Who?
I...
Who?
I never saw.
Who?
I never saw. Please, please stop. Please. It started to.
Who?
I didn't see anyone help him. Take it off. Take it off.
Who helped him?
Gaines, the butcher, and his son.
That's better. You'd be very helpful.
No, stop, please. What are you doing? Please, stop. Please, stop. No, no, don't do everything. No, no.
Going back to what I was talking about, that is the rat method. A metal bucket is heated up by some sort of flame. There's a rat inside. The only way for the rat to escape the heat is to burrow through the human's body. So then we have the category butt stuff. The Judas cradle was invented by Ippolito Marsili during the Spanish Inquisition. And fun fact, it was not this actual device that killed people. It was the diseases, the infections that came after it. And so here we have the pair of anguish, invented by Captain Gashiro di Paglioli, and it can be inserted into the mouth, but typically not. And it is debated on whether or not this is an imaginary device. So with that being said, here are my sources. I will fix that later when I do my actual presentation. And I hope everyone has an amazing rest of your day thinking about all this. I would like to end with a quote. In the words of C.G. Jung, the healthy man does not torture others. Generally, it is the tortured who turn into torturers. So, if you find this topic interesting or fascinating, there are websites to learn about it. But if you do decide to learn more about this, I will give you a side eye. A massive side eye. Goodbye, everyone, and thank you for listening.